We're chatting with Tom Amoss, and he is going to saddle No Parole in the Salt Keenan Ogden Phoenix on the opening day card of the Keeneland Fall Meet. What happened in the last race for No Parole?
Well, it started before the race even ran, to be quite honest with you. Ironically, I was mic'd up for that race in the paddock, and as No Parole came into the paddock, I could see he was agitated. He had gotten a little hot and bothered, and he was on his toes. That is not his personality. He is a horse that is the most laid back I have in my barn. So when I saw that, I knew something was definitely not right. And again, I'm mic'd up, so what do? I just told it like it was, and I said, this is not what I was expecting from my horse coming to the paddock, and we're going to have to work with him in a different way. But anybody that follows horse racing closely knows when personalities change in horses, it doesn't matter how talented you are or aren't, but you got to be mentally right. And he wasn't mentally right, and we never got to the bottom of it. So I don't know what made him like that. But in any case, something stirred him up, and he just didn't run a good race. It was completely out of character for him.
Well, from his workouts, it certainly looks like he's back on top of his game. That last one was sub 47 over at Churchill.
Yeah, no, great workout. He was actually entered in the Pat Day Mile on Derby Day here, and the decision to withdraw him from that race was more about trying to keep him at distances of, say, 6/8 to 7/8, with the idea in the back of our head that, if we can do really well here in the Phoenix on Friday, we have a chance to run the Breeders' Cup. So we decided at the last minute we didn't want to stretch him out to that mile distance, but nothing to do with him physically. He was doing great.
This is 6, 7. Is he about as good one or the other?
Yeah, I think so. And a lot will be made about, his ability to make the lead early in the race and that having a lot to do with his success. And, to that, I would say that he's naturally quick, so he's always going to put himself in that kind of position. But as far as having to make the lead, early on in his career, in a couple of races at Fairgrounds, they weren't the talent level of these horses, but it's amazing with the Louisiana breds how much speed you get in these races. They're designed for speed, a lot of those Louisiana breds. So he wasn't in a position where he just cleared the field in those two races. He was challenged early and then kind of made a middle move to separate and then kicked home nicely. So I've looked at the race for Friday. I see a great deal of speed in there along with No Parole. I think that'll separate itself out after the first eighth of a mile. I look for No Parole to be in a very, very good position at that point. And let's hope he can take over the race.
Well, for our viewers who might be looking to make a play or two, in addition to No Parole, anything else you're excited about running in the upcoming fall meet at Keeneland?
Well, let's talk about opening day. Everybody's interested in opening day. I've got a maiden named Off We Go that runs. Is going to break from an outside post position. She ran at Churchill Downs Derby week. It was her first start, and I'd had the last three before her not break well from the gate. So in an effort to try to get her to break better from the gate, we did a little trick where we tail the horse. And tailing a horse simply means that one of the starters stands behind the gate and holds the horse's tail up. It doesn't hurt at all, but there's a little bit of pressure that the horse has there. So when the gate opens, the horse wants to get away from that pressure. And it worked. It worked like a charm. She took off and went really, really fast, like maybe a little bit too fast. Ran second that day, and I think, on Friday it should be a more rateable horse. She'll run well. I'm really, really pleased with how she's doing right now.
Well, best of luck with getting the meet off to a fast start with those two on the Friday card. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Anytime.